Hello, and welcome back to Cheeseboard Games. Hopefully we are live. I can see you can hear us. We are playing 7th edition Call of Cthulhu again. This is our second session, and none of the characters died last time. So,
hooray!
My name is Morgan, and I will be keeping today. This is Jack, David, and Chris, and if you'd like to introduce the characters you will be playing today.
I am Ezekiel Carter, adventurer, general rapscallion, slipping out of my hospital gown. I got into a little bit of a scrape, and but I'm on the mend, I hope. Oh, this is going to be a very short session for me.
Yeah, we're just going to ask you to leave David's house, and then we will continue.
Yeah, in the gown, obviously.
Oh, yes. On the streets. Like an escapee.
I do wish you'd worn trousers.
Look, I am committed.
It is breezy, isn't it?
I'm Leonard Litigator. I'm a large lawyer, at large. I'm 7 feet tall, with very long arms, and I can box.
Very good at boxing.
Oh yes.
I am Jonas Carter. I am Ezekiel Carter's identical twin. I am a priest. And I speak like this. That's it. That's my character.
That is your main defining trait.
He's
Yes.
also not wearing trousers, which is making it very uncomfortable.
Look, I was told trousers are optional. They won't be able to
As
see.
long as you don't stand up.
Yes.
Cool, so we're calling this episode 2. It is 3 weeks.
Conventional.
I'm not entirely sure why that needed the quotes. There was a secret episode,
Yeah,
only known to those in power.
yeah. It is just breezing over that. It is 3 weeks after the events of your last adventure, which is available on YouTube if you can find it. Good luck. So without spoiling too much from the climactic end of episode 1, you have been in hospital recovering for those 3 weeks. You have been engaged in various lawyer activities, clearing their names, smoothing the way, maybe sorting out some lawsuits, and you have been going about your priestly business in the city of Arkham, Massachusetts.
I have made time every day to visit my poor wounded brother and read at length to him from the good book.
Every day.
Every day.
It is the low light of the day.
Speedy recovery. It's
Yes.
encouraging you. So, 3 weeks on. It is the morning of Monday. You two will probably be visiting the hospital later in the day. Visiting hours begin at 8, so we'll say it's about 7. You wake up and the nurses come in and they do their duty of care. They check your vitals.
I'm fine.
You chit chat.
Please.
You know these nurses. There is Esther LaRue
Esther.
is the main nurse. Esther.
She's my favourite nurse.
And Mary Lees, who is a junior.
Because of her kindness, and she has warm hands.
I didn't know it was possible to be dressed as a priest and somehow be the least creepy person in a room.
Sorry.
You need to leave.
Oh, I need to.
No, you're
falling out of bed.
Role playing ill.
Yes.
Okay, so the nurses finish the morning care. They're making sure nothing has changed dramatically in the night. And Esther stays back. She's just finishing her night shift, and this is her last stop before she goes home to sleep during the day. So she is a stolid woman, quite strong. She's used to taking care of patients, working long hours, and she hesitates before leaving.
Esther, my dear. I was wondering if you could answer a few questions for me vis-a-vis when I might be able to escape this torture place.
Oh, certainly, Mr. Carter.
That's my
I
name.
haven't honed in on the voice yet. We expect, going over your stats, we expect to release you before the end of the week. Thursday, Friday at the latest. You're doing incredibly well.
Is there any chance we could push that up to, say, now? Maybe right now.
This wouldn't have anything to do with your brother's daily visits, please.
I'm a man of adventure, my dear. I yearn for the sun and the automobiles and just generally not being in this prison any longer than is truly necessary. And I can stand. I can now.
Indeed, you have been making progress with the physical therapy, walking up and down the hallways. We're quite amazed at the progress you've made. I can ask your doctor about it. I can ask if he can push it up. But I'm not promising anything.
I am very grateful. I'd be in your debt.
She pauses again, and you can see that she looks concerned about something, and she's hesitating about bringing something up. There's definitely something on her mind, though. I was wondering if I could talk to you about something of a personal nature, if that wouldn't be too forward of me, Mr. Carter.
This is going to be about the trousers.
Of course, my door is always open. Because they don't close it.
Even though you've been in the hospital for 3 weeks, you've probably heard the rumors spreading around Arkham that you helped dispatch a monster at a boxing match. I'm not sure how much of it I believe, but you seem to be a very capable man.
The only monster was the hubris of man.
Indeed.
And there was an amulet involved, but mostly hubris.
I was wondering if I could put to you something that has been concerning me of late. It's quite strange, I have to admit. I hesitate to bring it up in case you would think me mad.
My dear, I sometimes think myself mad with these pallid walls to look at all day. Something to take my mind off of the drudgery of it all would be most welcome.
Okay, and she sits down in the place where your brother would normally sit himself to read you passages from the good book. And she tells you what has been concerning her lately. So she is an older woman, and she has worked here for many decades. And in my younger days, as a trainee nurse, the older nurses used to tease us with stories of a monster haunting the hospital halls. And they used to take particular pleasure in telling it to the nurses who had to work night shift, scaring us before our shifts. Now, I never believed it, and I never saw anything. But recently, several staff members whom I trust have come to me with stories I can't entirely dismiss. And I may have seen, and then she stops. She doesn't want to say what she's been thinking and feeling over the past couple of weeks.
I think at this point I've leant forwards to the point where the wound is sort of straining, and in interest, and say, no, please go on. Have you seen this beast?
So I assisted in your surgery.
Odd thing to bring up. Is that a threat?
I was the first nurse on call, and that means sort of main assistant during the surgery to Dr. Caleb Vickers, who you've met. He's been in to talk to you about your recovery.
Don't trust that man.
Don't trust him at all. So she tells you that during your surgery, she saw a frightening black shape behind Dr. Caleb Vickers. It looked like a shadow man.
Indeed, and you must forgive me for going down this line of inquiry, Mum. but are you sure it wasn't a shadow? They are often in the shape of men when there is a man in front of a light. I understand that may sound like a very patronizing question, but I do need to make sure.
I wondered myself if that was what I was seeing. It made me jump, and then I thought, no, my rational mind took over, it must be a shadow. And then the figure leaned forward and put his hand on Dr. Caleb Vickers' shoulder to look down at you on the operating table. Now, I'm not a fainting woman, Mr. Carter, but I don't mind telling you I nearly fainted clean away when I saw that. But I have never fainted during a surgery, and I do not intend to start.
The tale leaves me somewhat weak myself. But, thank you for bringing this to me. If you have any more information.
She goes on to tell you some of the stories.
Yes.
I might have shoved it away as a tired mind, except 2 staff members whom I trust have come to me since your surgery with similar tales. Mary Leeds, the nurse who was just in here assisting with your checking your vitals and stuff, she
Very cold.
says that she saw a black shadow hovering over a man who died within the same 24 hours. And an orderly named Ben Matheson reported seeing a tall black skeletal shape hovering over an infant's cradle. Now, if it were anyone but these 2, I would pass it off as gossip, fear-mongering, but I trust these 2. They are not prone to flights of fancy. And given that I myself have recently had a vision, I thought I might bring it up and wondered if, in your last days in the hospital, you seem to be recovering. I wouldn't have brought it up if I thought it would affect you adversely. I was wondering if you could perhaps look into it.
Yeah, it's bloody fascinating. But,
She looks not less fascinated and more worried, but she seems quite keen she hasn't put you off and you're not accusing her of being mad or...
Oh no, I keep all of those thoughts to myself. But, no, I will certainly look into this. It's,
Thank you. It would put my mind at rest. And she...
And it would,
to go.
It would certainly prove that I was well enough to leave, yes? If I could solve this mystery for you.
Yes, I will put that to your doctor. We do have your health to think about. Don't go straining yourself in these investigations.
No, don't you worry. I wouldn't dream of it. But,
Okay, so she leaves. You know it's her night shift. You've talked to her over the past weeks you've been here, and she makes to go. And then visiting hours are open, and I assume you 2 would like to enter the scene at this point.
Yeah, I think I've been outside for a while. Just, you know.
It's 5 a.m.
Yeah.
waiting for 8 a.m. to roll around.
I think you'll find me I'll have got out of the bed and sort of shakily on a cane, sort of pacing.
You're up and about.
But, why yes, there's work to be done.
I have some papers to sign.
Oh,
Just to clean up the legal matter of the last time we met.
I see. Is it a positive signing or a negative signing? It's a positive. Okay, that's excellent. Well,
Are you
Use your real name.
better? Are you of sound mind?
my mind has
How many
never.
fingers?
At least 4.
Who's the president of the United States? Oh dear, we've lost it.
Carter.
That's your name.
Oh good lord,
Oh no.
he's not well.
Ford. No, it's Wilson. Woodrow Wilson.
I think some of these are in the future.
No, I think it's Woodrow Wilson. Is it? Do you know?
Yeah, it's Woodrow Wilson.
Excellent. I got there.
You did get there eventually.
3 or 4.
In that case, just sign here.
Ezekiel. Such a funny name.
So are you sharing what Esther LaRue has shared with you two.
Esther LaRue.
Indeed.
Great name.
There's a mystery. Some shadow creature, skeletal monsters in the night. It may just be the fancy of...
Are you sure it's not just a shadow?
That's what I asked her.
It does sound like a shadow.
It does indeed sound like a shadow, but...
Was
My
it
money's on
was it
shadow.
A bunny rabbit? Or a bird?
A creepsome man.
Oh.
Yes.
I
who,
often see a shadow as a creepsome man.
similar to thine image. But
What has this shadow done?
at the moment, it seems looked in on surgeries and taken note of ill goings on. Maybe looked at a baby or two.
Pervert.
That has not been confirmed either way.
So at this point, it's visiting hours are still open. Dr. Caleb Vickers comes in to check on you. So he has reviewed your... he's basically coming in to check your vitals. Same thing the nurse did, but more professional. Oh, that's the wrong impression to be giving. Anyway, he's come in to check. So you, I think all three of you would have spoken to him and seen him about the hospital. This man is in his 60s, very senior doctor at this hospital. And from the chats that you've had with him, you know that he's unmarried and that he was also in the war.
Ah.
So he served
60 and unmarried.
as a medic.
That's suspicious.
It is, rather.
I mean, I'm unmarried. Do you find me suspicious?
I do find you suspicious.
More suspicious if you were 60.
I feel like we are avoiding talking about the very strange event that has happened in recent times. We're all dancing around the elephant in the room. Leonard, your hair has changed colour.
Presumably this is an effect of the monster.
Yeah, okay.
Or a monster.
I buy it. Back to the skeleton.